Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As ladies and gentlemen, I understand why Ripple is coming out with their stablecoin right now. And we are going to get into it as I think Ripple just opened the floodgates for XRP adoption. Ripple is in the know. They know the news for the classes, and they've positioned their company and their digital asset in XRP correctly for a global takeover and for mass adoption. But first, for context on the world stage, we have the Notre Dame moment for the Copenhagen Stock Exchange in Denmark. That's an interesting phenomena. And at the same time, Edward Snowden is warning everyone that we're just days away from the NSA completely taking over the internet. It's not on front page news because they want to sneak this in, but this is the most tyrannical push of control I've ever seen the government try to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we have never been in a position ever before where government is trying to literally let the NSA seize control of the internet through secret orders and warrantless searches of your data. This bill needs to be stopped, and you all need to pay attention, as they're trying to implement the digital AI control grid with absolutely zero privacy at all and zero legal limitations on government overreach. This needs to be in the back of your minds as we continue into the digital financial system, as Taylor Barr posted that Senator Gillibrand and Loomis have presented a stablecoin bill. And in this bill, it allows banks and non-bank trust companies to issue stablecoins through dedicated subsidiaries. It bans unbacked and algorithmic stablecoins. It introduces capital and one-to-one reserve requirements. It permits state financial regulators to authorize and supervise stablecoin issuing trust companies below $10 billion. And it gives the Federal Reserve power to issue enforcement actions against stablecoin firms larger than $10 billion, but be required to take joint action with state authorities below that threshold. Ladies and gentlemen, in my personal opinion, this is the moment where they crucify Tether. I've been long outspoken against Tether, the stablecoin, as a Ponzi scheme, a complete racket, and it's typically the Bitcoin maxis that say Tether conspiracies are bullshit. The last bull market was officially stopped, I would say, with the crucifixion of Terra Luna and UST, the algorithmic backed stablecoin. Stablecoins are critical for the liquidity of the crypto space, and Tether, the largest stablecoin in the world, is clearly a racket. The only reason you'll hear people defend Tether and dismiss me as a conspiracy theorist about it is because Tether is directly affecting Bitcoin's price positively. And we all know this. In the back of our minds, we all understand this. And let's see what happens when they rug pull the biggest scam in crypto. Now, what you all need to understand is this is a perfect moment for Ripple and XRP to seize the day. But first, I want to play you these two senators discussing a little further the importance of stablecoins and how we are on the precipice of mass adoption and legitimization for the crypto industry. I've been here for 8 years and haven't heard crypto talked this much in this light in the highest levels of government. And this should excite every single one of you.
There's been a lot of speculation that there has been money moved through stablecoins and the like and others, through Tether and places like that, to places like Iran and Russia and others, and how concerned you are about that and how that relates to a bill like this.
Well, I think this bill is the first step towards really addressing illicit finance. This stablecoin legislation creates a framework where it rests on top of the dual banking system. It uses the protections of Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering protections in the banking system. This is a bill that's written to have 100% one-to-one dollar-backed. Custody has to be in a bank, and so you have all those protections in place in our ordinary banking system. And so this is bringing that level of transparency and accountability into blockchain and cryptocurrency. And the first, and I think the most important piece of this legislation is to take stablecoin and put it into a proper regulatory framework so that we can have consumer protection, we can have transparency, accountability, and we can have certainty.
Yeah, the worst thing we could do if stablecoins are being misused around the world is to step away and not regulate them. The whole purpose of this bill is to protect consumers while we acknowledge the existence and use of stablecoins. And furthermore, Senator Gillibrand has included some language from the FDIC that in the event there were an insolvency or a failure, a conservatorship or a receivership could be set up. So it's contemplated that even with our one-to-one reserves that we require and our decision not to allow algorithmic stablecoins, if something did fail, we have that safety valve of the FDIC receivership language.
We also require that if a stablecoin is issued, that it's done by its own entity. It has to be a subsidiary, right. It has to be walled off, and it can have no commingling of funds with other assets.
Yeah, separately custody is important.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about all of you, but this exact regulation coming out right now post-eclipse as war tensions are rising is definitely a sight to behold. And for all of you to realize that the halving is just a couple days away, you need to understand that we're at a pivotal moment in time in regards to crypto. Stablecoin regulation into the halving is making me very intrigued. First and foremost, when you look at this video, we're witnessing the boomers innovate. They're getting out of their shell. These two women right here are what I like to call the Milloomers. A group of the boomers that want to stay hip, up to the trends, are a little tech savvy, and understand where the world is going. The Milloomers don't give a solitary damn about this technology, but they're simply adding to their wealth. And the very smart boomers right now would switch to a Milloomer immediately, because the laws they're going to put into place right now are going to make it very hard for the average non-tech savvy individual. And you better understand that. AI is meant to replace you, and your retirement accounts will be absolutely rug pulled, with Congress simultaneously enriching themselves with a stock ban bill that will go into place immediately, right before they rug pull the economy and the stock market. It'll be a cherry on top for the great scam that is the United States monetary system, and frankly the country itself. Perfectly, they'll make it out like bandits. They will also rug pull 99% of crypto with the new bills they're going to enact. But the ones that are compliant and working with the system will survive. That's why this Ripple-backed stablecoin is so important. And I pray you all pay extremely close attention, as even Altcoin Daily, who is no big fan of Ripple and XRP, is giving credit where credit is due. This Ripple stablecoin will help with revenue streams as they begin stopping their sales of XRP. Ripple, you've had long enough to get enough money from selling XRP onto the world. Now we want to see where this price can go. We want to see this utility built. We want to see this innovation hit. And we want to see the weight of all your connections. Altcoin Daily makes a great point about the Ripple stablecoin. And I want you all to listen to someone who's not necessarily pro XRP give you a very objective take on how special this really could be.
Briefly about the Ripple supposed stablecoin. So they have XRP, which is a big altcoin, Supposedly they're thinking of launching a stable coin. I don't know. Like, do we need more stable coins? I don't even really know. I mean, obviously they're a great use case for crypto outside of Bitcoin. But I mean, Aaron Arnold, like your quick thoughts on that. Have you followed that? Are they going to do it? Why are they doing it? Is it significant?
Yeah, it's a good question. They're doing it because they're seeing in the past 5 years, the stablecoin market has really blown up. Over 5 years ago, the crypto people, the Bitcoin people used to think, oh, these third world countries, they're going to want Bitcoin because their currency is being devalued. And that's still true. But what they want more than Bitcoin right now is even just access to the US dollar. So they have a stable medium of exchange. And the regulations for stable coins have been getting better and better. And if you can get a piece of that market, any savvy businessman in that sector would want to. So Ripple is creating a stable coin on the XRP ledger. And will it get adopted? That remains to be seen. Is that kind of, the antithesis of what you would do if you want to see XRP get adopted? I'm not sure. I think they could both, they could both grow together. Like the thing is, what we have been seeing though is Ethereum and Ethereum L2 stable coins kind of getting adopted more than others. But even USDC, which is an Ethereum US-centric stable coin, is multi-chain now with Solana and plenty of others. So, why they're doing it, they want a piece of that market because they know that market's here to stay. A dollar on crypto rails is a better mousetrap, and they want a piece of it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, there you can see an objective take that I fairly agree with. People are looking and noticing the regulatory actions happening right now, and they're looking to Ripple as a market leader. Ripple has been fully compliant, is buying more compliant companies, and will be important infrastructure for what's about to come. Do you get it, guys? Do you all understand? Binance US has added former New York Federal Reserve compliance chief to its board. All these crypto companies have been co-opted, completely taken over by the Fed and government officials, and are now being run in a quote compliant way, whatever that means. Get ready, because I wouldn't be surprised to see one last black swan event in crypto before life-changing generational wealth. Guys, do you know how many boomers have messaged me over the past couple days that have nothing to do with crypto, have never taken a course, looked at videos, done research, anything? Do you know how many boomers are messaging me saying, hey, the halving is coming? Now that's likely a top signal. That's likely a sell the news event. But in the overall context of April into May into 2024, ladies and gentlemen, crypto is so bullish. This short-term downtrend we've experienced over the past couple days is absolutely nothing. It's the darkness before dawn. It's always the darkest before dawn, but we see the light. Nothing can scare us off. We're almost there. That's why I've created all the content I have. And that's why I created this 100 Reasons Why XRP will hit new all-time highs in 2024 video. And here, I discussed de-dollarization on the global stage being one of the many reasons XRP will hit new all-time highs this year. War tensions are escalating, and countries are choosing their military alignments right now, for lack of a better phrase. We are currently seeing BRICS having more countries interested than ever before in joining. And it's because people are pivoting over from the Western system. They're looking at America right now on the global stage, and they aren't liking how the dollar is inflating. They aren't liking the American economy. They aren't liking American aggression in Ukraine, in Israel, in Palestine, with Iran, in Yemen, in China, and other countries are aligning with the BRICS. Right now, the de-dollarization is a major talking point, along with the BRICS-style payment system I've been discussing them building on the side for a long time. They're calling it a decentralized multi-currency digital international payment system. And here, you're all gonna understand why this video that I created, that was 3 hours long, is going to be prophetic. And I do think it will go down in history. Here, we have Rob Cunningham sharing an important piece of information from Jim Willie discussing XRP and what he believes is about to happen between Ripple, XRP, and the BRICS. The BRICS and the geopolitical landscape right now are going to come into play, and there will be a moment, in my opinion, where in some type of way, XRP is going to play a role.
I mentioned the surrender in Ukraine. I mentioned the launching of competing CBDCs. There's not going to be one. There might be 12. And anyone who thinks that everyone's going to follow Basel, you're dumb as a rock. You're dumb as a rock. The BRICS are now a union without unity. And it's a very interesting union. They do not have unity. What they have is a common objective, and it's de-dollarize. We're going to see not dissension, we're going to see apparent disorganization by the end of this year within the BRICS. The West is going to say the BRICS doesn't really exist. They have no unity because they're not following a single method of trade payment. They're going to use the Russian ruble. They're going to use the Chinese yuan. They're going to use maybe a digital currency coming out of Persia, Iran. They're going to use gold tokens for the nations that have sufficient gold reserves. The Chinese just announced the Chinese blockchain platform. And the BRICS adopted a similar platform also. Maybe it's the same platform. I don't know who's going to run it. We're going to see XRP used before long. This is going to bring about exactly what the BRICS want: decentralization. And we're going to have so much decentralization by the end of this year and early next year that the dumbasses in the West who don't know how to analyze out of their jockstrap are going to say the BRICS are disunited. No, they've achieved their goal of decentralizing the alternative options for trade payment. It's going to be very exciting.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that makes sense to me. BRICS nations using multiple currencies, somehow, some way XRP, who has ties with almost all of these nations for the most part. I think potentially all of them. That's fascinating. Decentralization is the name of the game. BRICS has always been in the middle of this transition. And with military tensions rising, Ray Dalio's book, The Changing World Order, gets more and more prophetic by the day. A declining empire who's clinging onto its currency like the US is fighting for dear life to maintain its currency strength through military power. But hypothetically speaking, during a polarized time of elections, let's say, during a time where people aren't paying attention, when we are at war in all these different fronts, wouldn't that be an incredible way to expand? Look at all these additional countries on the screen: Afghanistan, Algeria, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Belarus, Indonesia, Iran, Kazakhstan, Mexico, Nicaragua. You can see the rest. All of these different countries are looking to de-dollarize, pivot onto a new financial system. The BRICS, as is with its recent new additions, is a powerhouse of natural resources and global population. All I'm saying, my friends, is this is going to be a fascinating time to be here in the United States. And what a time to be alive, as we're all falling asleep at the wheel through the book of Revelation. If you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, you can become the new 1%. And in the coming days, I'm going to be defining to every single one of you what exactly the phrase, the new 1%, means to me. But before I can do that, I have to say I appreciate every single one of you Now, finally, guys, with potential black swan events in the air, with potential regulations coming into play, with uncertainty in the world, with cyber attacks always in the back of my mind, I just want you to protect your crypto, and I highly recommend the Decent wallet, which you could buy for a discount in my description below. This has the most options for almost all of the altcoins I discuss. And I think for every single one of you at home, this is at the very least a wallet you need to have in your repertoire. A lot of people still have Ledger. Ledger is fine, but they've lost some of my trust. Decent hasn't done anything negative up to this point. And something I'll say to every single one of you is that this is the time where you guys need to have all your crypto tools in place. This is when the bull run truly begins, and you have to be prepared. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the bearable bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Now, I'll be back tomorrow with another video.